A man who threatened to commit a mass shooting at a Lubbock elementary school will now spend a year and a half in federal prison.
Stephen Furr pleaded guilty to interstate threatening communications in June. He made posts online threatening to shoot up an elementary school near his home. His post was fantasizing about the crime, saying things like, quote, "I can already smell the blood." He was arrested after a standoff at his home near 90th Street west of Slide. His attorneys claimed Furr was not fully rational and had been hospitalized for mental breakdowns. Yesterday, the federal court sentenced him to 18 months at a medium security prison in Oklahoma.